For 3 decades, the world celebrated André Rieu as the man who made millions smile, the king of the waltz, a figure of effortless charm and glittering concerts. Audiences believed they knew him, applauding his warmth and elegance, unaware of the shadows behind the bow. Behind every standing ovation was a man grappling with battles that no spotlight could reveal. André lived a double life, one for the public and one for survival. His grace, laughter, and musical gifts were all carefully constructed, a shield for the fragile boy who had grown up in a home devoid of true affection. Childhood of discipline and silence. André Léon. Marie Nicolola Rieu was born on October 1st, 1949, into a household ruled by discipline and perfection. His father, André Rieu Sr., a respected conductor, demanded obedience with the precision of an orchestra. Laughter and imagination were luxuries denied. His mother enforced the same standards, viewing emotion as a flaw to be corrected. In this home, tenderness had no voice. The elegance the world would later admire emerged from necessity, a survival mechanism. André learned early that to live and to be noticed, he had to hide his fractures behind a polished exterior, masking the pain and longing that quietly shaped his existence. The violin as sanctuary. At age 5, a young violin mentor changed everything. At only 18, she placed a violin in his hands, unlocking feelings his rigid household had never allowed. With her, André discovered safety, a rare space to breathe and feel. Music became his first secret life, a quiet rebellion against the coldness of his home. Unlike his parents' relentless critiques, she encouraged listening, expression, and patience. In those early notes, he realized music could be more than technique. It could be solace. This was where the young boy began to build the double life that would define him. One visible to the world, the other deeply private, shaped by survival and longing. Teenage rebellion and love. André's teenage years brought conflict. While peers focused on technical exercises, he chased emotional resonance. His growing love for waltzes met with contempt. His father's words cut sharply. "I didn't raise you to play waltzes." In 1968, love intensified the family rupture. When he brought home Marjorie, the woman who understood him, his mother demanded she leave. André walked out that night, never returning. This final act of rebellion cemented the split in his life. The man for the public and the wounded child hiding behind elegance. The applause of decades would never erase that silence or the deep fracture that marked his private world. Early struggles at the conservatory. By the mid-1970s, André was no longer a quiet boy. At the Brussels Conservatory, he encountered rigid traditions that scorned emotion. Professors demanded flawless technique, dismissing waltzes as trivial. But André's vision had already formed. Music should breathe and make people feel. He learned to navigate the tension between conformity and passion, a skill that required building a life in secret. Outwardly obedient, he cultivated his inner freedom. Each hidden rehearsal, each carefully curated note strengthened the man who would later captivate audiences. Even in constraints, he nurtured the self that the world would eventually know. Not a son under scrutiny, but a visionary committed to human feeling. The Maastricht Salon Orchestra. In 1978, André founded the Maastricht Salon Orchestra with 12 idealistic musicians. Early performances were modest in drafty halls and overlooked towns. Yet these concerts were his sanctuary, where his true self emerged. No longer just a son weighed by expectation. He became a man who wanted to share warmth and joy. Marjorie became his backbone, managing logistics and finances with the precision of his upbringing but softened by love. Here, discipline was no longer punishment. It was a tool for sustaining art. These concerts laid the foundation for his life's work, a blend of rebellion, beauty, and structure, quietly separating the public legend from the private struggle. The breakthrough in Vienna. In 1995, André's career reached an unexpected pinnacle, performing Shostakovich's Waltz No. 2 at the UEFA Champions League final in Vienna. Tens of thousands were mesmerized. Football fans paused, spellbound by music they never expected to move them. The timing of Ajax's goal felt fated. Overnight, André became a global icon, yet the triumph deepened the strain on his double life. Audiences saw magic and laughter. Only those closest, including his son Pierre, saw the cost. André was not just a performer. He was caretaker, financier, organizer, and emotional anchor. The toll of this hidden labor would shape the most fragile chapters of his life. The role of Pierre, André's son, became the silent guardian of his father's health and career. Before the Mexico 2024 collapse, Pierre was tour manager. Afterward, he assumed total oversight. Every venue, flight, and set list was filtered through his careful judgment. He had witnessed his father's legs give way, heard the trembling breath backstage, and felt the fear that André could not afford publicly. Even as André pushed against limits, Pierre ensured his survival. The bond between father and son created a protective shield around the man who had spent decades building joy for millions while hiding vulnerability beneath elegance. Slowing down without losing music. By July 2025, the Maastricht concerts revealed a new reality. Hometown performances became carefully curated, balancing artistry with preservation. André modified pieces to reduce strain, rehearsed privately, and prioritized slower waltzes. His home and nearby castle became sanctuaries rather than symbols of triumph. Dawn walks, herbal teas, and meticulously curated meals centered on maintaining fragile health. Yet, André's spirit remained intact. He played daily, sometimes for hours, sometimes gently, acknowledging that while the body had limits, the music endured. Even in restraint, he found freedom, a final testament to a life built on resilience, secrecy, and devotion to art. A question of a final tour. Despite age and fragility, André and Pierre sometimes discussed one last world tour, the grandest of his life. Dates remained undecided, announcements unmade. The question lingered, could he survive it, and should he even attempt it? Decades of dual existence, sacrifices, and hidden suffering weighed against the allure of performing once more for global audiences. André's legacy was already cemented, yet the possibility of one final tour teased both risk and reward. The decision would be a balance between protecting life and honoring art, a choice that no applause could dictate and only André could make. Legacy beyond the stage. At 75, André Rieu's life stands as a testament to endurance, talent, and secrecy. Millions cherish the warmth and elegance he brought to music, unaware of the hidden battles behind each note. Every performance, whether on a massive stage or in private practice, reflects resilience, courage, and devotion. Whether he embarks on a final tour or slows to a quieter rhythm, his legacy is secure. A man who built joy from pain, music from struggle, and a life of artistry from survival. André Rieu's story reminds us that greatness often comes with unseen cost, and sometimes the quiet victories matter most.